See this? Not my finger. The stuff that goes on up in here, the internal dialogue, the narrative that you have in your head that tells you about you. Nobody else hears it. We'll come to that in a second. No one else hears it. It's just you chit-chatting away to yourself about who you are, what you believe in, what you believe about yourself. Incidentally, it's got nothing to do with anything, but incidentally, some people don't have this. Some people don't actually have a verbal dialogue in their head. Huh. Google it. It's extraordinary. Anyway, for those of us that do have the little chimp chittering away, how does that little chimp and that narrative, how does it serve you? Does it serve you well, or does it hold you back? So it's one of these, the story that you tell you about yourself is true because you make it true. Okay, so whatever it is that you believe about you, then that is how you live in the world. That's what you put out into the world. So this comes up in my world a lot in the fitness industry and with nutrition, where people, so here's the most common one, right? Oh, I'd really love to do CrossFit, but it's so hard. Like CrossFit, oh, it's so difficult. I could never do that. Like, do you think like how do you think fit people get fit? Like, they're not born fit. They're not just like super little Arnie babies when they get pushed out. Like, they do fitness and get fit. So it's a really peculiar one. People seem to think that other people don't start somewhere. Anyway, what other people do is entirely irrelevant anyhow. And this brings me back to, what does your internal narrative tell you about you? So if you're always thinking about what other people do, oh lordy, oh, you need a reset. You need a reset. You need to recalibrate and forget about what the hell other people are doing. Like, you can love those people. Like, those people, like, it's nice to, like, have positive emotions towards people, but don't let that then backtrack and deflect into some sort of weird negative for you. Oh, she's so amazing. She's so fit. I just am so not like that. What? You've just taken a positive and turned it into like some sort of hideous negative. I don't know if this is some sort of British thing, this need to like devalue yourself and like put yourself down and bring yourself down. I don't know. It's so bizarre. Is it like if you like are always pessimistic, you'll never be disappointed or something? So if you don't try, you can't fail. You know, I'm not going to try CrossFit because I don't want to fail CrossFit. You can't fail CrossFit, by the way. There's no like, like there's, it's got an F in it, a capital F. CrossFit. That's the test. If you can spell CrossFit with the capital F in it, it's all one word. It's weird. Americans. Then you've passed CrossFit. It's a tough test. You can't fail CrossFit. You can't not be good enough at CrossFit to do CrossFit. So the whole point about what we do is that it's infinitely scalable. If you've been watching any of my videos and you care to have a little look at the total beginners ones, that message should be pretty clear. So it's not that. It's not that it's technically too difficult. Like, people know this, right? You know that you don't. Say you wanted to learn French, right? You don't sign up to a French class having already learned French. And yet people think, and I have had it said to me so many times, it's mind-blowing how many times I've had this said to me, I'm going to get a bit fitter before I start CrossFit. What? You what? I mean, you literally come to CrossFit to get fit. Like, that's what it is. That's what it does. So what are you so afraid of? What is it? It's this internal narrative that you have in your head. So you're telling yourself you're not good enough. You're telling yourself that you have to be something else, something different from what you are, so that you can fit into this thing that you think is above you or beyond you or out with your reach. Ooh, oof, 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 oof. This is where the reframing comes in. So what you need to start doing is start paying attention to these thought patterns, these words that go through your head. Vocalize some of them. How do they feel? How does it feel when you tell yourself that you're not good enough to start a fitness class, that you're not good enough to start eating well, that you're not good enough to cut out the alcohol, that you're not good enough to hang out with those people, whoever the hell they are? Like, how does it feel? How does it serve you? Okay, how do these thoughts serve you? So these weird little, this impulse to have these negative, paint this negative image of yourself in your head. Like how does that make you feel? So I want you to always think about, how do your actions, how do your thoughts, how does your language, how does it serve you? Does it serve you well to get annoyed with your family members who you're probably currently coexisting with, or your flatmate or your friends or whatever? Does it serve you well to get annoyed with them because they stir their tea too loud? I mean, does that feel nice? You're probably not saying it, but you're getting like dead mad inside. Does that feel right? Because these are your own thoughts and they're in you. So the only person those thoughts serve is you. How do those thoughts serve you? Does it serve you well to look in the mirror and look for all the terrible things that you see about yourself? I'm too fat, I'm too unfit, I don't stand up properly, got weird eyebrows. Because you'll find something. If you look hard enough, you'll find something. And you know what? See, if you practice looking for bad things often enough, you'll get really good at it. You'll be able to see terrible things about yourself every single time you walk past your reflection. Because you've got so good at it. You've practiced it so much. You've got so good at it. But I think you probably start to see where I'm going with this. If you're constantly negative, if you're constantly feeding these thoughts into your head that bring you down, keep you in your place, wherever you think that place is, then you need to start reframing them. Okay? So let's take the looking in the mirror example. Look in the mirror. Look at how freaking wonderful you are. How glorious you are. How unique. How weird you are. You're so freaking weird. It's amazing. In fact, you are absolutely extraordinarily individual. Why would you want to be like other people? What's so good about them? They're pretty wonderful too, actually. Like, you... Oh, God. What a hideously boring place we would live if everybody was just the same. Verbalise positive things. So if you find yourself saying to your friends, I'd love to go to CrossFit, or I'd love to go to, I don't care what it is, Zumba, swim in the sea, whatever it is. I'd love to do that, but oh, I need to be fitter first. I need to buy the right clothes first. I need to have the right shoes first. Well, these things, these barriers, these blockades that you verbalise and put in your way, you put them in the way of your own success, of your own greatness. Because maybe you're afraid of that change. Because really, you know, people are really nice. So it's not about other people. It's not about other people. It's never about other people. It's about you. I don't want to go to that class because everybody will think I'm really unfit and I'm terrible. Do you know what? They don't care. They like, see you. You are of no consequence to them. They don't care. Because do you know what they care about? Them. They care about them. And their internal dialogue is busily going, oh my God, I'm so unfit. Oh my God, I've eaten so much. Oh my God. Oh my God, everybody's going to think. Yeah, do you know what? Everybody's so busy thinking about themselves, they're really not thinking about anyone else. Unless they've hung out with me and I've been teaching them to, like, think nice things about other people. It actually changes your perspective more rapidly than anything else, and this has been studied and proven, that if you are kind to other people, you become kinder to yourself. It's one of the first things to make you feel happier, is being kind and verbalising kindness to other people. So instead of thinking about yourself when you want to integrate back into society, which we probably all will at some point, instead of thinking about yourself, why not think about how you could be helping other people? So one of the most motivating things that people can be triggered by is seeing someone else doing something. So have you ever heard that you don't tell, you show? So if you're wanting to help somebody, you can't change someone. Have you heard that? You know, you can't change somebody. But if you show people how to go through life in a positive and productive way, then they see that and they might follow it and respond to it. But anyway, I digress slightly. That's important too, but that's another day. What this is really about is, how does that internal dialogue that goes on your head serve you? And how do you reframe it? How do you re-educate your brain to say nice things and positive things? Well, it's practice. You've literally just got to do it. And you've got to start believing it. Like, so see, whatever it is that you believe, it's real, okay? This has came up a lot, like, see for like people wanting to lose weight, for example. They believe they're the fat person. They believe that they're the person that's a little bit too overweight to go running. They believe that they're the person that's like too overweight to walk into a gym. And if that's what they keep telling themselves, then they live in this world where it blockades them from changing that, because that's who they believe. People are, see, whatever it is that you believe about yourself, that's really, really, really important to humans. We have like an identity thing about ourselves, where we believe ourselves to be a certain person with beliefs and structures and views. And anything that threatens that, that's why people get into weird political arguments where they get overly emotional when it's like and they get very triggered on it, because people have this deep-seated need to belong to a belief system. I'm afraid it's true. Okay, so that we can change that, like, by awareness, by being aware of it, but it's very integral to our existence as humans. So this turned into a very long video. Oops, sorry. So all I really wanted to say was, be nice. Like, have nice thoughts about yourself. Have like kind words for yourself. Practice it and become very aware of the negative language that you use either in your head or out your mouth hole. Okay, start making those things positive and watch how things change for you. Your whole view of the world could change. These people that say to me, I don't like people. Yeah, no, see, because people are really nice. Again, this has been studied. When it comes down to it, generally speaking, people are pretty good. They'll help you out. They'll be nice to you. They'll be polite to you. They'll be kind to you. People are not assholes. And it's really unfair of you to say, people will think. That's in here. That's in your own head. That's in your own head. All these projections that you put out onto the world. So see, when you say that people will think, what's happening there is you're projecting out onto the world what you believe to be true about yourself. You see where this is going? Just keeps going round and round and back to the same thing, where it's all about what those thought patterns are in your head. So after, wow, 14.5 minutes of talking, I'm going to shut up. And I'm going to leave that with you. Be nice to yourself. Have pretty thoughts. You deserve it.